Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a new episode of your favorite podcast, a wrestling podcast brought to you by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. It's once again Bumps and Bruises time. I'm joined by my favorite tag team to form the trio that we have. It is Derek over here, and we have Shane over here. How we doing, guys?
You got it right this time.
Yeah.
Not only be like,
yeah, I got it right. The broken clock is good at least
twice a day.
Yeah, twice.
Did you say once?
3 times. Words are hard.
Hey, he's on a 24-hour time clock. He's on a 24-hour clock.
Hard. So
I like that. Oh, instead of trio, you almost said trio,
Yep.
And I'm down with that too.
You down with that?
Your favorite trio
and trio. Sorry, man. Words are hard. So let's get right to it because we got a lot to cover. There was like 48 hours worth of wrestling, something crazy. But yeah, Derek is over here showing his t-shirt. I'm showing my Cena t-shirt. Yeah. All right. So SmackDown. We're not going to linger too long on SmackDown. We're going to talk about exactly what happened. We had a bunch of filler to promote the coming card that we were going to have at Saturday Night SmackDown, and what was pretty much the biggest match of note was the Tag Team Championship match between the Wyatt Six and the Street Profits. Let's just get right down to brass tacks. The Wyatt Six defeated the Street Profits to win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It was a good match. I know a lot of people, including yourselves, were not happy with this result, but it is what it is. I think SmackDown has proven that you just got to let them cook. That tag team division is rolling. It's a little bit different than when the New Day dropped the belts, like what seems to be a week now at this point. So thoughts on that?
They don't need a title.
I mean,
Street Profits don't need the title at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who? Oh, okay. That's not what I said.
The Wyatt Six. I was just giving some context. I thought that's where you were going.
It was already known. The Wyatt Six. I don't know. Like, to me, the Wyatt Six don't need a championship to be and do what they do.
Well, I guess it comes down to the people, the members of the group. They got to give them something. Like,
they don't even stay on TV that long.
I mean, but now this is a reason, because now they're a tag team, and the storyline is the Wyatt Six versus everybody that's a pairing in SmackDown, which means you can be friends. They'll come after you. If you're a tag team, they'll come after you. They basically took on the entire division. And I think
it sounds like Brock Lesnar versus the whole roster when he would take the title and leave.
Well, I don't think they're leaving. I think this is just another caveat to the story that we're going to get in. I give the WWE some leeway because I think it's going to lead to a multi-team match that's going to go crazy at SummerSlam. I predict it being a TLC match.
Are you saying that the titles are going to be on a pay-per-view?
Yeah,
telling us right now.
I think 2 nights. I think we have it, and I think, I'm looking at the WWE Raw roster, going, oof. I don't know if you guys are going to get a tag match for SummerSlam, even though they did start a storyline for a number 1 contender. I think we might get both belts. I think each night is going to have a belt presented, but I'm definitely, unfortunately, due to the lack of names and being involved in the Raw scene, I can 100% see SmackDown stealing the tag team scene again, like they have been for the better part of a year now.
Well, and to your point of, it's the Wyatt Six versus everybody, we got the little backstage segment that had DIY trying to rally all the other teams together, like, hey, we can't let this happen. And we also got confirmation that Andrade and Rey Fenix are now officially a tag team.
Yep. So it's wide open. I personally think that in a match like that, a multi-man match that might have some high flying activity, I can see Andrade and Phoenix got the tag belts, who I think need to be established, and that opens up the floodgates of the pairings. Like, think about that. Like, I honestly think DIY ends up feuding with the Wyatt Six by themselves at a certain point. And they're going to get some extra help. Could it be a reunion of the foundation, or I forgot the name of the family, the faction that they had? You know, it could be a number of different things happening there. I like the direction this is going. And honestly, as far as the rest of the show, it was just a bunch of fluff for the Saturday night main event, with the exception of Ron Killings versus Aleister Black, which ended with Killings defeating Black, but Black is clearly a heel here.
Little Debbie is back.
Oh man, I don't know.
How the fuck do y'all even hear it?
I don't know, because I just heard like this was insane. This one was like in my ear. Like I thought my mic.
Can y'all hear me right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
My mic is muted.
Not very well.
How is your mic muted when we're talking to you right now?
Bro, literally, my mic is muted. I muted it on purpose, grabbed it, made noise.
I don't
on purpose.
You succeeded in your purpose.
You're communicating to us right now. It's not.
I just turned my mic back on. So
the entire time that you said my mic is muted, you were talking and we were hearing.
He did look like a kid that got caught with his hand in the candy jar for sure. He was like,
I thought it was my mic for a second. But anyway, I like where this feud is going. It's going to lead to the battle of the two hot topic managers, Damian Priest and Aleister Black. Yes, and then we had a couple face-to-face, but you know, we also had
all just setting up the weekend,
which was jam-packed. Let's start off with the early show, which was Great American Bash. Great American Bash. We had Javon Evans versus Troy, and it was a good match, what you expected. I was very surprised that Javon Evans beat Jasper Troy, because Jasper literally just had a main event match against Obafemi the last pay-per-view. But it was your typical David versus Goliath match. It was getting tossed around. I like that they're pushing Evans. I think it's going to be an actual slow burn before he gets the title. And what do you guys think?
I thought it was a great match. I honestly thought they were going to put I didn't think they were going to put Javon over. I'm glad he did go over. That pay-per-view as a whole was really good.
Yeah, it was including the women's match was really good. I went back and resaw it. So Ruka is a star in the making. I think the WWE just the rich keep getting richer, because they're getting these women that are talented, that their charisma comes off the screen, and they're athletically inclined. Whereas before, maybe 15 years ago, it was like, oh, she's pretty. Let's have her in the ring. Now it's like you getting top-notch athletes, and I think honestly, it's a WWE ID program. Shouts to them. Their recruiting process is crazy. Yeah. Whereas they're like, oh, let's get these professional athletes that are not going to go in their sports professional leagues, and let's make sure that we lock them down, train them, and see what's what. Like I think Ruka, they have it hit there. Izzy Dame, what they put on a hell of a match, and I think it was just as good as the Javon Evans match, if not maybe slightly better. It's a lot of great false finishes. Yeah, and then we had the anything goes false count anywhere. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. That was going to be a slobber knocker, to quote the great Jim Ross, but. I think I knew going in that Ethan Page was going to win. I think this belt, the North American Championship, was solely to get Ricky Page on the map, to get some buzz. I think honestly he might be world title bound, and I don't think it's going to happen soon. I think it's going to happen maybe when we get a new challenger that actually dethrones Obafemi. I don't know if it's going to be him. It's a toss up right now between him and Javon Evans. And it appears that Obafemi, they're just feeding him more, like, to quote, Ryback. Yes, first Ryback reference here ever.
Definitely not the last.
Yeah, we definitely we love Ryback. No. And then
you definitely did combine the two men into one person when you said Ricky Page. But
sorry,
listen, I was gonna let it slide.
Page and Ricky Saints.
But if you didn't catch this match, it was a solid match top to bottom. It's worth going back and watching just to see all the bumps that Ricky Saints took, because he took 2 or 3 that were just like, ooh, and it actually made you have that physical reaction of like, ah.
If you think about it, these guys have worked well. Like, we've seen this match in AEW, but WWE is bringing out more like hunger out of them. Instead of us getting it on a random Wednesday for a TNT title, you're getting this on a pay-per-view and making it a grudge match. Like,
it's not Friday after dark.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's pretty good. Like knock on AEW, but I think the change of scenery has really made these guys something. And AEW has a wealth of talent, but sometimes they don't know how to manage people. And I think, the fact that there's 3 distinct brands in the WWE, 4 if you count Evolve, the sky's the limit. Like, you know what I mean? You have people like Natalia that goes up and down the roster. She appears on every freaking show that she wants. And other companies, like, she's making her paycheck and she's staying her name out there. But I think both of these guys are a great get, and I'm almost certain that they were gotten at decent prices, because when you're upset at your current job and you just want to move on, and the same thing goes for the WWE. Certain talent like Jon Moxley, they felt like they hit a wall in WWE, went to AEW, now they have this renewed vigor that not necessarily they would have had before. So all in all, outside of the match contract signing, which I didn't think was needed, and I believe that Dark State, now we're heading towards a situation where it looks like Trick is their leader, even though they definitely attacked him for months upon months upon months. But now they're in a situation where they've been helping him out inadvertently, and I don't think that's where we should go, because especially since Trick is still getting pure babyface reactions, even more so than Obafemi. So,
man, that whoop that Trick cannot be stopped.
I mean, and then it's a catch-22, because they can't remove that song.
No,
it will be such a hard, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the Tribal Chief song, like, Roman's current song. Like, they dabbled with it a little bit, but you got to have those horns and everything come through, and now we can't live without the like the bass drop or whatever it is that you want to call it. I'm not a music guy. That in the beginning of the song, like, even last night when we were watching Raw, literally because we were all watching it together, I was sitting here going, oh shit, like, because you knew immediately as soon as the song, and it's like it fits good for like a dramatic entrance, versus like all of a sudden you hear like DX break it down, or like sure, like, it's like, no, it's like, oh, business has about to pick up. You know what I mean?
It's the modern day glass shatter.
Yeah, it's like it works anyway. It's like all right, like, you're a heel, and then all of a sudden you think I'm cute. It's like, oh, wait a minute, this guy gonna come out here and dance with me? Like, what is happening here?
He said, shut up and dance with me.
Yeah. But the match of the night that I think, and I'm not calling this a match of the night because it wasn't necessarily the best match on the card, but I came in with low expectation. But I knew that Obafemi can get a great match out of anybody. But these two boys beat the brakes off of each other. It literally was big men slapping meat all night long. Like, and man, Josh Briggs came in, interfered. Like, it felt like the urgency of like leading up to like Roman Reigns like first or the end of his second year, when it was like everybody's like, somebody got to stop him. But Obafemi, again, at the end of the night, hand raised, he retained, and he literally, this is probably one of the best matches of the year of 2025 for NXT especially. And for two random pairings, because Oba is like a foot taller than him, but that guy is just like a tank. And like they both have this offense that meshes well. Like, you know what I mean? If you would have had like a technician guy, you'd have been like, oh, this is weird.
He got that, Inamura got that strong style.
Yeah. And boy, oh boy, no wonder they brought him back for a little bit of a go ahead, because I guess Japan was like, wait a minute, you gonna feature him in another pay-per-view? Go ahead, we're bringing him back for you guys. Like, man, is the best Inamura has looked in the WWE that I can remember, and this is crazy.
I mean, he looked like a tank.
Yeah,
Oba was hitting him with everything that just obliterated other top guys, and he was just taking it and doing that. You know, I'm going to shake it off and keep coming forward, which was a good look. It made him look really strong, and really sold him as that viable opponent to another monster.
It put a credibility on there, because honestly, there was a certain point where I was like, oh man, they got to really stop plucking these guys. But no, like everybody that's gotten a title shot has become better for it. And it was legit. It was one of those things like this kicked off the Saturday buffet of wrestling very well. Like it was really good. And then of course, we move on, and the first pay-per-view that started was AEW All In. And
the longest pay-per-view.
The longest pay-per-view of the week, and you could probably
the longest pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-views.
Really?
Crazy.
It is the longest wrestling pay-per-view of all time.
That is, you know, of course they had a pre-show. They had the Sons of Texas and the Von Erichs versus Shane Taylor Promotion. Poor STP, man. STP needs to catch a break. They got to win somehow. Like I get it. You wanted to start off big, but then all of a sudden we had the conglomerate, which Big Boom AJ versus Don Callis family, and then they won. It's
the Costco boys.
Yeah, like, you know, Big Boom AJ. I love to see a good veteran finally cashing in on his blood, sweat, and tears. But it's like what is going on with the Don Callis family? There's so many people there. You know, it was a buddy of mine that was backstage. I'm not gonna use names, and they basically was like, it's like, hey man, Callis, can I join the family? And apparently Don Callis deadpan looked at him and said, fuck it, everybody else is, sure. And it's like, man, it's like the NWO. They are like making something that was actually decent into like a parody of itself. Mind you, they have big bucks in it, like big names in it, but it's like we don't know what's going on here. Like it's like you ever seen that the three dragon meme where two of them, one of them is perfect, the other one is kind of weird, and the other one just looks like who? Like this is where this is going, and that's how his roster looks like. It's like top heavy loaded, and at the bottom you're like, why is this guy even a part of this family? It's like,
that special Hydra.
Yeah, like for no reason. But anyway, and another match that I honestly, these three matches could have just been on a premium edition of what is a Saturday Night Collision or something, because we didn't need it. Not even FDR versus the Outrunners. Like we saw this match versus the Hurt Syndicate, and I was just like, oh, okay. We don't need to see this anymore, especially since AEW didn't do anything with these guys. You know, I don't know, man. But anyway, the pay-per-view opens up with a trios match, which I thought was actually pretty good, you know, because anytime you put Samoa Joe on the match in a match is decent. So did you watch this part of the match, Shane or Derek?
So I saw main card. So this is the first thing that I saw.
Okay.
And I saw the highlights of Big Boom AJ, and I'm gonna jump back for just a second.
Okay.
Because the one thing that I am all for a veteran finally getting a shot, but there's something about a guy that was a weekend warrior that is now catapulted to fame because
he's
of
still
TikTok
a weekend warrior, right? They use him every pay-per-view, which is
maybe I misunderstood, but I thought he was done with wrestling. It was over, and then AEW found out that he used to be a wrestler and wanted to cash in on his TikTok. Here comes the boom, boom, boom for the Costco chicken bake. And
I thought it was a big chunk cookie or the chocolate chunk cookie, whatever. I don't know. I still have
they eat everything.
But the Rizzler is over. Like I went to Fanatics Fest. This kid, like I literally was at a meet and greet with
the Rizzler.
No, with Cat, with Carl Anthony Towns, the Dominican center for the Knicks. And he's walking in, and people are like, "Oh, Cat!" Like crazy Knicks fan. And then we hear a roar of the crowd. The Rizzler just came up on stage in the main stage to like it was insane. You would have thought this guy was peak Michael Jackson, like people just crying and just fainting at the same time.
And huge credit to that kid for getting himself so over. But
he probably doesn't understand what's going on.
And that little chunky boy.
hey, shout out to the chunksters because we all are one.
I was never, even now, I'm not as chunky as that little man. I do worry about his Costco health in the future.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's crazy, but shouts to him. He's making more money than I'll probably ever see in my life.
Oh, he's
like
a multimillionaire.
And I hope his parents are saving and investing all this money. And this man is still rich beyond his belief. Like, I don't want to see him in the dark side of the ring. It's like, I used to be the Rizzler, and let me tell you what happened. Like, I don't want to see that.
That would suck. That would be sad.
It would be sad because he's just a kid. So we wish him all the best.
It's only a boy.
But then we got the Casino Gauntlet match for the men, which was better than I expected it to be, even though I do not like their gauntlet format.
But wait. You're skipping over the Ops versus the Death Riders, in which the Ops successfully defeated them.
Oh, my bad. I thought I forgot we didn't talk about the conclusion of it.
That's fine. The Ops successfully retained. I think like this story has gone on long enough. Like at the end of the day, you're starting to wonder why the Ops are together. Like I understand that a Taz's kid, what's his name? Oh my God, Hook was hurt. I heard he's back, but he's not in Ops. I don't know what's going on, but before we get to the actual gauntlet match, it was all fans were informed via Twitter and on the live show that Adam Cole was forced to vacate the TNT title after suffering an injury in a 4-way title match. And it's now a 4-way title match for a new champion. So let's pause here. Like, I've met Adam Cole personally a couple times. I met him as a fan for meet and greet. I had the good fortune of being around him in a non-wrestling environment. Very cool guy. And I just want to wish him the best because it's like he's one of the nicest guys I ever met. Like,
genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met. Yeah. I got to meet him in non-wrestling settings, and back when during the pandemic when we were doing Valorant Monday, I got to jump in with the party and play games several times, and he is genuinely one of the nicest people that you could ever speak to.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, but Godspeed to him. Hope everything clears up health-wise. But yeah, let's talk about the gauntlet. Derek, were you watching at this particular point in juncture?
The gauntlet, I feel like I missed. I heard about it because it ended before everybody got in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So explain to us the format. of this, Shane, since I interrupted you when you were going about it. Like what? So it's a little bit different than anything, right?
So the thing, their gauntlet matches, it's not like what we saw on Monday Night Raw with the gauntlet match where 1v1, you beat your opponent, the next one comes out, you go again, and the winner stays. Like, you know, we've all done on the video games when we're on the basketball court, winner stays on. Their gauntlet match is kind of a Royal Rumble-esque style where, like, every 90 seconds or 2 minutes, the next entrant comes in, which is fine, but it gets really convoluted because whoever gets the submission or pinfall is the winner. So it's not we keep going until everybody is eliminated. It's not an eliminator style. It's whoever gets that pinfall or submission wins. So you can have 20 people in the ring and have one guy go for that pin, and if they get it, it's over. And everybody else is standing around like, huh, what's happening? What's going on?
So I saw this towards the end. So, and I skipped through it because, again, it's a very long pay-per-view. And I saw that Max won, but it was a situation where he was one-on-one with the guy he pinned. How did that happen when there's like 20 other guys in there? And
because they just disappear. They hurt each other, and then they sit on the outside of the ring for 10 minutes at a time. It's a format that I don't like.
Do you think MJF actually gets his title shot? Or does it turn into a situation where he kind of like the Hurt Business, or excuse me, the Hurt Syndicate force him into giving that to Bobby? What do you
That's
think?
What I was wondering. I was curious if exactly what you said, if they would have him, well, if you want to stay a part of this, I think it's time that we give that contract to Bobby. And, you know, he forces the hand and becomes like the super face MJF once again. Or Bobby wins it, and then MJF is like, you know what? I'm cashing in on Bobby.
What do you think, Derek? Because I know you're involved in this point. So
honestly, I kind of want it to be like the, you know, go ahead and give it up to Bobby. We've let you, you know what I'm saying, be in the crew. Now you gotta, you know, put in some work. So,
or the inverse of that.
This is proving you can make some ribs at the cookout.
Or the inverse of that. Do you think it's a situation where Max goes, all right, thanks, guys. I got my title shot. I don't need you guys anymore. Or they support him in his title defense. They help him win, and then he kind of like breaks off of them, like, that's it. I don't need you guys.
What do you want to see happen?
What do I want to see?
Yeah, honestly, what do you want to see?
I don't want any scenario. I want an independent party. Like, I want Takeshita to actually be the champion, but you know that I can hold my breath until I'm blue. That's not going to happen this year. Like, Takeshita is the guy. I think Takeshita is somebody that you make him because Kenny and Okada are not going to be there forever, and you don't want them to come back as a cameo to do a couple spots like Daniel Bryan did, or Bryan Danielson did at the end of the pay-per-view as well. Like, you want to get your star players in now. MJF, it doesn't need another title shot. He could just say, hey, I'm up next. He doesn't need a guaranteed title shot. You know what I mean? Like, and then I think Kyle Fletcher,
like Seth Rollins in this damn briefcase.
Well, but here's the difference there. Here's the difference. Seth Rollins is a proven main eventer. I think even after I think after his title shot, his horrible direction that he's had with his character has led him to be that when he came back white hot and cut that promo, like you know who I am, blah blah blah. He's now in gauntlet matches. You know what I mean? No feud to think of. He's a part of the Hurt Syndicate via osmosis. Who did he feud with before? Daniel Garcia. And by Daniel Garcia's own admission, everybody beats Daniel Garcia. We never got a proper feud with Adam Cole.
We didn't.
And it's like one of those situations that it's like, man, like Adam Cole's injury hurt him just as much.
Yeah, that was a huge. I mean, because that was even before Cole's initial injury.
Yeah,
well, multiple injuries, but they had the chance to run with that and just left it as hanging fruit for whatever reason until it wasn't there anymore.
I feel like I feel it in my bones that I think we're gonna open up Dynamite with MJF cutting a promo on Hangman Page. Hangman coming out like blah 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 blah. Death Riders, you guys are some tough son of a bitches, but AEW's back, and then cue MJF's music, and then it's like, here we go again. Instead of them doing a proper, like, honestly, I would do a multi-person match that and introduce some type of gimmick there. Like, you have viable number one contenders. You have Ospreay, you have Swerve, you have you can even throw in Takeshita, you can throw in Kyle Fletcher, you can even throw in MJF. Everybody has a claim now because in a way, like, Hangman cashed in a lot of favors. But I 100% think that somehow the Young Bucks are going to still be involved in a storyline with what's his name, with Ospreay and Swerve, because they're going to quote unquote be brought down to non-EVP level where people are going to be mean to them or something, or they're not going to give a shit of what they say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, like, instead of this being a situation where the Young Bucks goes, all right, we messed up. Now let's get back to what we were, which is an amazing tag team. It's gonna turn into a comedy angle. That's just
like 80% of the stuff with the Bucks turns into a comedy angle for whatever reason.
And they're a great tag team, even at their age right now. They are great. Like, but I don't know, man. Like they got caught in this. Like, there's so many thread lines that they left. Like, what happened to the Elite? Is Okada? I know he's part of Don Callis' family. How did that happen? Did they explain that? Did anybody watch that? Like,
he said, "Bitch," and it was done.
Yeah. Like, are you invested in AEW at this point, Derek? And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but I know you don't watch AEW as you know, some of our friends do, and I watch it occasionally. I like to catch up, like the Okada thing. Now I'm gonna go back and see, how did that happen? Just rambling with Don Callis. How come the Young Bucks didn't interact with them? Where the hell is Jungle Boy? Like, there's so many questions that it's like yo, it's like if tomorrow, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso just dap it up. It's like, hey, Us, how you been? Who are you? Or like, you know, it's like, wait, so the last 5 years of the bloodline has not happened? It's like, yeah, we're not talking about that. Like, no.
We kind of saw the start of that last night, though.
I mean, they already said that the bloodline is over because it's my family tree. That's a completely separate thing. They haven't referred to the bloodline in quite a few months, ever since they had the Solo lose to Roman Reigns. I think it's just Roman Reigns. That's why they put the one. He's gonna be quote unquote a one-man wrecking crew, and that's. I think I like that because he becomes a modern day Stone Cold. You don't need him with a faction, because then it's a thin line between running him like that and him just being, again, a guy that just has people do stuff for him. I think he's going to be a lone wolf for a minute, and that works for him. Just like Jay. Look how it's working with Jay.
Yeah, but I mean, if Roman goes to Raw, because he just popped up on Raw, you know, he pop up wherever you want.
Yeah.
But with Jimmy going there now too, and the beef that Jimmy's had with Solo, even though it's two separate brands, two separate
Where did Jimmy go? I mean, what, you think Jimmy's going to pop up?
Jimmy should be going to Raw because Naomi just won and she's on Raw.
We jumping way ahead.
I mean, this is true, but I'm just saying, like, as far as like this little Roman Reigns talk, Jimmy's gonna roll with Roman. Jimmy always roll with Roman.
I don't know. Because he's real cozy with Jacob. And honestly, they're all family. And I think they'll make an exception. I think Jimmy will be like, it's all good. I'm with my cousin. Now we definitely got to get some sober coaches for them because we might get some more Deweys out of that.
Yeah, they can't have that. That'll be like 6.
Yeah, like I think the only person that's actually chill about everything is ironically is Solo and his younger brother. Everybody else is like, we parted. It's like when Jey Uso when they were like Waffle House and he goes, it's like, but anyway. So we're digressing, but we'll see. This is a good part of being a fan, right? Like we don't know where it's going to end up. Like if we didn't know that the WWE had this rule about like if you're married to somebody, you're on the same show, we wouldn't even talk about this. It'd be like, oh man, this is gonna be dope. I think Roman is gonna go back and forth. I don't think he's gonna stay on one show, and that's why, for all we know, Naomi drops the belt on SummerSlam or they switch belts or something. So I think I don't know what they do because then it's like you have Jimmy there and you have Jay and you're not gonna do the Usos. That's when it starts getting weird.
I do think that there's a good chance that we see the Usos reunite, and I think that's what revitalizes because they're back together.
But who is going to be their foil?
The New Day.
So how do we get to the New Day making them reunite? Because they're involved in a main event storyline right now. How do we get
Jay's
Bronson
just coming out and getting his ass whooped right now?
Yeah, Jay's not involved in anything. He's just there.
He's about to be in a tag match with Roman versus Bronson or Bron.
The B&B security.
Yeah.
So how it wouldn't even be out of the ordinary. How hard for it to be like Roman going, oh, sorry guys, I can't do this one, but I've got a good replacement, Jimmy.
And so then what? Jacob Fatu 3v1?
Yep.
Bloodline 3.0.
Jacob Fatu by himself? Like, because you got to give Jacob is going to need a partner. And I think Jacob could hold it down with one person. Maybe it's a situation when Tama comes back, and I don't know, man. You could easily see Jimmy doing both.
I don't like that you made her drop the belt so soon, bro.
I know. He's like, oh well, forget that girl.
SummerSlam.
I didn't make anything. I'm just saying you guys are assuming long term plans, but as we both know, plans change, baby. Especially she got that Jade Cargill thread. I don't think they're done. I think her verbally saying they're done is not a thing. I think
I think they're done, and it's her and Bianca now.
I was like, Jade got something to focus on right now at SummerSlam. So you can either beef with the girl who took you out, or you can go get this gold. So,
but let's jump back because Adam Cole had to give up the title. He relinquished due to injury. It was. And if you haven't seen the announcement and you like anyone on a professional level, it was hard to watch in an emotional way. But then we got Daniel Garcia, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and Kyle Fletcher in a fatal 4-way for the TNT Championship.
I do not know why Dustin Rhodes won.
What?
How many belts? Because it came off too gimmicky.
He is now carrying 3 titles
at 5?
Wait, hold on. Wait.
Yes, he's a trios tag team in AEW.
Really?
He's a 6-man tag team.
He's 6-man tag champ
and the tag team champion.
Tag team champion with Sammy
both
Guevara.
ROH.
He has 2 ROH titles.
2 ROH titles.
2 AEW titles.
Correct.
Oh, okay. Now it makes
the
sense.
TNT. So I'm going to be honest. Right. I think it was Kyle Fletcher's to lose. And I think the reason that it didn't get put on Kyle Fletcher is I think Kyle Fletcher caused Adam Cole's concussion with a poor clothesline.
So you think
I
that was
don't know.
punishment?
Yep.
I think Tony went with the cheap pop.
Wow.
Well, and it was in Texas, so
Yeah, I think he went with the cheap pop. I think that's what it is. And honestly, if Kyle does not get it back in the before the next pay-per-view or at the next pay-per-view, then I would think it'll be some heat because it doesn't make sense otherwise right now. Like I get it, but you booked the TNT belt. His brother came out and said this is the belt for the future. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
like
it's not. It's called the TNT belt.
That's when it was red. It was the future when it was the red belt. Now that it's black, it's faded. So
it can never be a true important belt because it's the TNT belt. That's like something that they would give Shaq after.
It's not that belt right there that's sitting on the corner of your screen.
Yeah, it's not that one right there in the bottom right.
Be the future, the one that Cody didn't win in his own company, which doesn't make sense. The belt, look over. Just turn your head like that.
Right there.
Oh, you talking about the AEW title?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot I had it.
No, it's just like I thought y'all were talking about each other. So anyway,
what?
You're talking about your belts because I'm looking at your belts and I'm looking at.
Oh, I mean, technically, it's right above the TNT belt if you look at mine. So I placed it like that on purpose.
Like, I don't know, man. Like this, like I guess they're pushing this title down now that we got the true Intercontinental title, which is the combined title. Like,
but you said they're gonna hold all three, right? I feel like we talked about that.
I think based on the reaction for Sammy Guevara is gonna turn on Dustin, and they're gonna both go back up to AEW full time. And then,
which it wouldn't be surprising at all for Sammy to turn. It's been his character, essentially since day one.
It's like the Big Show.
Yeah, he's the
guy. It's
overly
like
cocky.
Yeah, and he didn't like he wasn't salty in the celebration, but like the way he was looking at him when he got the pin and he was the first man to try to break up the pin, and then he was like. He was definitely very confident that he was gonna, they might do the daisy chain. He might beat him, and then Sammy versus Kyle, which I would like to see.
Sammy Kyle is a much more intriguing matchup than Dustin Kyle.
Yeah, because Dustin, it's at a point that he's wearing a knee brace above his tights.
Yeah,
he can't even wear him under his tights. That's how big the knee brace is at this point.
Yeah. But then we got what I kind of the start of the entire true card, where we got the battle for the EVP title with the Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. And then something that, correct me if I'm wrong, that Marcos didn't like, we got JoJo singing Swerve's old entrance music to have him come out.
I didn't like it because it's one of my favorite songs, and I don't think JoJo did it justice.
You don't think she did it justice?
I thought she did a good job.
I thought she did really good.
She did a good job. She did a good job as a singer, but no, I wanted Shaka Khan to sing it. They have the bread. Bring Shaka out.
Listen,
or have her in the crowd going.
You know how much he had to drop on Saraya to get old girl in London.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He got that money.
He owned 2 sports teams, a whole wrestling promotion.
I thought the Ospreay's Assassin's Creed entrance was cool, with the exception of like it went on way too long. And then one of the guys that peeped that he forgot his mark and he had to switch over to the other side at a point. It was like it was crazy. The Bucks entrance was hilarious.
I did not enjoy the Bucks entrance at all.
It was funny as hell. It was another one been too long. I guess they got there and the set crew was like, yeah, we can't make a boat pop up from the middle of the ramp. So they're gonna have to go off stage and go in the back and then come out. Like they should have just came out with that. But I guess the Bucks are like, nah, baby, we got to do our signature pose when we come in. But it was a great match.
Great match.
I'm pretty sure that Dave Meltzer probably had to change his pants afterwards.
I don't know. I think he was probably okay because it wasn't in the Tokyo Dome.
I don't know. He said he'll probably say that this is the US's version of Tokyo Dome. It's a Texas Dome now. He renamed it. He gave it 187 stars and a warning: do not watch this in front of your children because you'll immediately climax.
So the sequence that everybody loved that made the internet climax was an amazing sequence.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the thing that I don't like about a lot of what AEW does.
The overselling?
Well, not overselling. It was overly scripted. Yeah. Like you could tell that moment was rehearsed and just, we'll go to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. It wasn't wrestling. It's incredible athleticism. It's incredible acrobatics. It's incredible choreography.
Yep.
But it's not what I think of when I think of wrestling. And maybe I'm old, which I'm definitely old.
You're old.
Thanks.
We're both old. It's okay.
But it's the one thing that I've always had an issue with the Bucks. Like they're awesome. I think they're a great tag team. They're fun to watch. They're entertaining. They put on a great show. But these choreographed segments that have really, really grown in the last 10 to 20 years through that indie scene, because it shows off the athleticism that didn't exist in early wrestling, which I'm all for that athleticism, but I want to see it kind of more organically. I don't want to see it so we hit spot. That's how it goes. And you can tell that we're working from a script.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part that I don't enjoy as much, and I absolutely understand why people enjoy it, but I have a harder time with that.
Understood.
It pulls me out of the moment.
What about you? You watched this match live, didn't you, Derek?
Yes, I did.
What did you think? Did you think it was too much of a spot fest, or did it hit just right? I enjoyed it.
I love the match. I'm not gonna lie. I guess looking back, I see what Shane's talking about with the spots, but in the moment, I enjoyed every bit of it. So, yeah, I have no complaints on that match.
I thought it was a great match, except for that moment, which is like the viral moment that everybody is when, that first Ospreay flip over the clothesline, and then it just you can see as soon as it starts to when it ends, and then it goes back to a great wrestling match. Yeah. But that 45
maybe that
seconds
that moment was manufactured so it could go viral,
and there's a very good chance of that, and I understand that. It just pulls me out of the excitement. And I mean it's almost like going to commercial when you're in the middle of like the last 20 seconds of the game.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely a good match. The right people won. Ospreay and Strickland were in no position to lose, especially with a lot on the line, because they learned from Cody. You can't remove yourself from the title picture.
Yes,
and I will die on this hill. I don't think it was him that booked that. I think somebody suggested it, and then he was like, "Okay," and then he was like, "Wait a minute, I don't think we should do this," and then he did it. And I don't know.
I think it probably was his choice because he's got that I'm gonna work hard for everybody else to succeed. I think that's become who he is now. But it definitely painted himself into a corner in that situation.
I don't know. Maybe towards the tail end of his career, he go back to AEW and win that belt. But it's crazy that he never even had that belt on his waist ever.
Which it's professional wrestling. There was always a way to get yourself out of a painted corner, and it would have been really easy to do, like accidentally win a gauntlet match, anything like that. But we digress because there was a lot more in this AEW pay-per-view.
Yeah. So then we had finally Athena winning the Casino Gauntlet match. It was good. Nightingale's gear was amazing. We had a couple different spots that was cool, but Athena had most of them. And the biggest surprise out of all this is that TK basically saying that Athena is now part of the AEW roster, which
Finally.
I could see her relinquishing the ROH belt because you don't want her to lose it. Relinquish it. Let them have a tournament. Get somebody else up, and then that means that she is still undefeated on that point. And Athena comes in with this hot start. I know she lost at Mercedes Moné, but this might be the person that actually wrestles the belt from Mercedes and starts her on a losing streak. You know, a second one doesn't matter. Get that TBS title away from her. Give Athena that belt, and she'll kill it. Like this is actually a big highlight for me that she won. And then TK,
I enjoyed that one.
And then TK, like, so yeah. What would you like to see from Athena, Derek?
I mean, honestly, what you said sounds perfect to me. I mean, her finally coming to the main roster, you know, and getting that time to shine. If she does relinquish that, then she does still hold that, oh, y'all never beat me back here. And yeah, I mean, Mercedes has a lot of belts. So, you know, her dropping one ain't gonna be terrible. And it's not gonna take nothing away from her, because then she's just gonna go collect another belt. So
yeah,
putting it on somebody who's gonna help elevate it, I think it'll be good.
Do you think Athena wins this title? The on her title shot. We don't necessarily need her to win.
I think she should win.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I like it.
So
why not?
I don't know. I just feel like Toni Storm has a stranglehold, and the couple times that she let go of the belt, it didn't help the company at all.
Well, I mean, it has to be booked well.
Well,
Right.
it was booked well. It's just business-wise, it didn't help the company because Mariah May left. Literally, the biggest angle that they had all of last year. And Toni Storm could have slid down the card and been happy, and then they were like, nope. Somebody did not look at the contract, and somebody messed up. Mariah May was like, thank you. This guarantees me the contract that I want with the WWE.
Yep.
Hey, all roads lead back. Or two.
And now it's like, what do you do? Do you? And this is where we had this conversation in the Discord about wrestling, booking wrestling. This is where you have a conundrum. Do you continue with Toni Storm, who's excellent?
Great.
Or do you give Athena a fresh shot and kind of mess up Toni Storm? Because Toni Storm was amazing, but she had no angle afterwards. And then she came back into the title picture on one, and then all of a sudden, boom, she's back. She's more over.
I feel like if Athena wins and it's not working out, you can always put the belt back on Toni. They can always have a rematch.
I don't think they'll put it back on her. I think if Athena wins, they're gonna put it on Mercedes.
And that's fine too.
Which I could also see a situation where Mercedes ends up costing Toni the belt, and they build off that, and that's how Athena gets it.
That's how I would like it.
I like new champions, so I'm here for it.
But this is a situation where Athena, it's specifically getting a shot at the Women's World Championship,
right?
So it's not like she could be like, I'm going after Mercedes, which I would like. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I got a bone to pick with you because the story is there. And then Mercedes is like, you ain't gonna beat me. And then she does. because I knew Mercedes was not going to win on Sunday because of the fact that what do you do with the TBS belt? You can't just relinquish it again. She's definitely not going to wrestle twice.
Which we're getting ahead because we can't forget we had the tag team championship 3-way, which saw the Hurt Boys,
the Hurty Boys
against the Patriarchy, which Nick Wayne and Christian, and then Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, which I forget what was their. They had a fun name for them, and I can't remember what it was.
Jet Speed.
Thank you. Which I did enjoy that nickname.
At first I was like, why is this match happening? But at the end, the angle at the end, basically,
that's the entire reason that this match was actually on the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
because all this match was, and everybody got in some offense as they do. MJF got a little moment to do his thing, but this was really just the Hurt Syndicate beating down everyone and further establishing dominance to set up the Patriarchy with Nick Wayne turning on Christian, and
he's essentially joining FTR, right?
Right. So he's joining FTR, who have already, they already turned on Cope. They then were getting ready to beat up Christian for a second time. Nick Wayne gets ready to hit him with a concerto. And then we get on this stage, he sees clearly as Cope has returned. And in the worst friend move of all time, worse than Jay, worse than Rhea.
He's like, I got to get my pop in, baby.
Waits for the fireworks to go off, hits the stage, runs back and forth, hyping up the crowd as they're getting ready to concerto his boy. And he's like, yeah, baby, let's go. So I'm just saying, about if I'm ever getting stomped on the ground and you all wait and hang on, and going through your Spotify list to queue up some music before you come in for the save, I'm going to be hot.
You don't want me to hit that slow run?
No, but I figure like I was saying in the group chat, I'll be like, it's Marcos. The people are like, what's going on? Maybe they'll stop. They'll stop.
You create such a distraction that they're like, man, I got to stop what I'm doing. He just shouted his name and had some fireworks. This is impressive. I don't need to kick this man while he's down anymore.
That's wrestling logic. That's wrestling logic right there.
But this one was really bad because Nick Wayne's standing there like, yep, I'm going to do it. You can tell the timing was off because first off, he didn't come out until after his fireworks went off. If I'm going to save my boy for the last 30
I would have done it. I would have done the concerto and just gone through the crowd. I don't know who that is, but
that's he's here. Concerto, I'm out.
Yeah. Whoever that is took so long. Sucks for them. And then, the whole go find yourself. Do you think Christian is going to find himself in less than 5 days and show up on Wednesday?
Right. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I did some soul searching. He's going to go on one of those spiritual journeys.
Hit up Aaron Rodgers.
I think the best way to book that is for him to try to get revenge by himself and failing, and then Cope in the back hey, man, you ready to talk? And he's like, man, I don't need you. Slow burn.
It's funny. That's funny.
That's the one thing, a slow burn for returns. WWE knows how to book it well. I think everybody in the industry knows how to book it well. You know what I mean? It'll be pretty cool.
I want a 5-second post though.
We're probably gonna get it for the benefit of flash photography. Are they gonna say for the benefit of digital photography? Let's do
digital
it.
Photography can have flash.
I know, but that's not what they meant when they said it.
Hey, I was there when they had their 37-second pose.
Were you? I believe it.
I was.
So,
and I was one of the biggest ENC fans that I knew of.
Storm versus Mercedes Monet. This was a barn burner.
Match of the night.
It was a good match. Mercedes.
And I'm talking across all shows.
Mercedes definitely showed that she still got it. It wasn't a stinker like the one with Britt Baker. Like you could tell that these two women know how to wrestle, and whether AEW likes it or not, I think their experience in the WWE system has helped them, and they know how to put on these big matches. And Tony's a riot. Like she narrated her pre-entrance. She came out with a cane before dropping her jacket. That entrance was pretty cool. Mercedes came out with a low rider, and AEW was like, God damn it, we're gonna have to talk about Eddie Guerrero, even though we're not cool with his widow, or we're not cool with his family, and we're not cool with his cousin. We're not cool with anybody, but we got to mention him on air because Mercedes decided to use a low rider.
Yep.
I mean, but they didn't have to go that route. Like they could have brought up.
No, that was her. What are they going to say? She's Chicana? Because she's not.
No, no, they could have brought up Snoop because that was probably Snoop's lowrider. Like,
no, that was definitely a Hispanic lowrider.
Listen,
I don't know, but hey, it was good. Like,
but definitely a solid match, top to bottom.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Obviously, two of the best women in the industry. I would argue over the last year, if perhaps maybe more, that Toni Storm has been.
I want to say this edges out what I thought was the best match of the entire weekend was Io versus Rhea, but only because of the cash-in happened.
Yeah, I would honestly put those as 1A, 1B, and it just goes to show how far women's wrestling has come.
Yep, they're tiny women.
No more bra and panty matches. There you go.
Look, and I was one of the people that back in the day we would all right, women's matches next on the card. Let's go check merch. Like this is our get out, take a break. This is our intermission moment. Because we didn't care about the bra and panty matches. We didn't care about the mud fight and all that. Like we wanted to see wrestling. Yes, we were, men that could see that these were attractive women and everything, but that's not the reason we were there. I don't get my kicks off with, 20,000 other stinky men.
So, and then the match that was good for nostalgia, and it was a different match that we ever seen them do together, was Okada versus Kenny.
And I honestly thought,
because Kenny can't go the way he used to, and that's because of health. It's not even age. It's like something that we didn't even factor in 8 years ago when we first met. It's like, it's insane. And this is only the fourth match that they've had, and Kenny had a 2-1 lead on it. So what were your thoughts on that one? Because I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, I thought we were going to get a little bit more than we did. I felt like it was for a show that went as long as it did. I felt like this match was shorter than it should have been. I mean, these are two guys that have gone 60 minutes multiple times.
Yeah.
And this was like a 16-minute match, if that. I think it might have been 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it felt like, because in the group chat we talked about how when we got to the point that it was Toni Storm versus Mercedes, then Omega Okada, and then immediately into the world championship with Moxley and Page, that there was no break. Like by the end of it, already this show was an extremely long show, but those three matches back to back, you don't have a cooler. You don't have a second to kind of catch your breath and go, man, Toni Storm and Mercedes just put on a hell of a match. Whew. You immediately go into Okada Omega in what has given you fantastic matches historically. And it felt like they went, oh, this is going to be our breather match, which I don't think anybody that has ever seen their matches before and knows these two guys wanted that. We wanted more out of this match.
I think they packed this in. Like, honestly, I would have opened the show with this match. I
would agree with that 100%.
Because I just believe that they don't need them. You know what I mean? They don't need anything for this match. So,
and I think that would have given us a lot more than the Ops and the Death Riders. And if you move that Trio World Championship to that spot, it kind of gives that Trios title a little bit more of a shine to it. The folks that were in that Trios match
or honestly, you have the gauntlet match leading up to the world title. So that way they tied together.
They tie that together. I would agree with that completely.
Like, what about you? What do you think, Derek? What would you like? Have you ever seen Omega Okada?
Yes, I've seen their first 2 matches.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, that one I fell asleep on. It was so much wrestling.
It was so much.
In this match?
Because I'm watching everything simultaneously. Like I'm watching NXT and watching that. I had that on my MacBook. I had NXT on the TV. So it was a lot. It was a lot. I definitely dozed off. Like not because the match was bad, but like, yeah.
Normally, historically, their matches have been you can't look away because you'll miss something.
Exactly.
And in this, I felt like you could have skipped until the last 90 seconds of the match, and you would have gotten everything that was a big takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good match. And then, of course, the world title,
cream of the crop,
which felt like it was a good match, but it also felt it was overbooked.
There was too much going on.
It had a little bit of that WrestleMania 40. It's the bloodline match. And I think they kind of did that to show, hey, we can do this too. Personally, the thing that I didn't like was inside the first, 4 minutes in the match?
Blood. Everywhere.
Stabbing the crap out of him with a fork in the forehead, and there's just covered in blood.
My wife was looking like, what is this? And I was like, that's John Moxley's thing. And she was like, that doesn't seem sanitary.
Right? And then the broken glass, and I'm not a death match guy. I see why people like it. It's not for me.
Some are interesting.
So if it's a card that you come to me and say, hey, they're putting on this card and it's going to be death matches, I know what I'm getting into. Like, yes. I can go into that and go, yes, these are going to be death matches. But I'm sitting there with my wife or my kids, and my kids are a little bit older now, but especially like if I have younger kids and I'm trying to enjoy this pay-per-view at home with friends and family, and then there's just blood everywhere and they're putting broken glass down and all this, that's not the entertainment that I want. And it lends credence to the internet wrestling community and overall just many people saying that AEW is the place for the neckbeards that don't care about wrestling. They care about whatever the content is that they want. And it kind of lends itself to that. Oh yeah, I'm going to go watch Faces of Death after this.
What's a neckbeard?
Guys that can't grow a full beard. It's just under here.
Oh, okay.
Seen them. The little chin strap.
And they can't actually like clean up their beard. It's just like gross, geez. And there's hair like down into their shirt.
Oh, got it.
So this match was good for the wrestling that it contained. I understand the spots. I just never get used to it, especially because it's on main TV. Like, the GCW doesn't faze me. That's I come to expect. And when they don't have blood, I'm like, oh, no blood. And they've gone away from the death matches. They're more wrestling oriented now. But I think this is all in part of Mox's character. Mox has tried to bring a realism to AEW's product for a while, and I don't know. This is what Mox likes to do, and I think it suits his character. I didn't think that Page was going to bleed that much, but he did. I guess it was pre-planned because I don't think this was an unsupervised spots. You know what I mean? I think this was good that nobody got hurt. We have had pay-per-views hit a damper when a big star, Bryan Danielson, get hurt. And it's like, man, why did he continue wrestling? Like, I know he likes it for the love of the game, but it's like, bro, you broke your arm. You should probably relax. but this was good. I think the funny part that I found was the spot when Mira Shafir and John Moxley. It's funny because I'm looking at the recap here. I thought I was the only one that saw that, but apparently Bleacher Report agrees that it was funny as hell when Moxley and Shafir were trying to flip they were trying to set up a table and both flipped it the wrong way.
Flipped it the wrong way.
Yeah, it was like one wanted to flip it to the right and the other one tried to do it to the left. Like, you know how like you're folding a blanket and you're like, no, which side are we doing? That happened in real life with the table. And it was like I thought it was like I was like, like, you know, I'm one of those guys like I saw that. Like that was funny. Like
I gave the little pre-chuckle because I thought you were gonna go with the descent from the top of Mount Everest as Darby Allin makes his return.
Yeah.
But then they showed him in the arena too early, and he didn't come down like old school Sting really quickly. He was like, this is a slow elevator.
And it was probably, and I don't even know if it's TK on the production team, but somebody definitely was in somebody's headset, like, go to camera 3, and then the guy was like, boop, and then it's like, oh, we're not ready. And then it's like they went back and then they brought him down quickly, and then they realized that he couldn't get his harness off quick enough. So they went back to the ring. And yeah, it looked like he was jerking it for a second. All you saw, like they had like, you know, like mid chest, and he just kept going like that. And it was like, and then he finally got the harness off, and you know, shouts to Rand, who his dream did not come true. He wanted Darby to get the title, and now I don't see a pathway for him to get the title. I don't know.
I it's probably been ruined for me because I have a buddy that refers to Darby Allin as the I Love Turtles kid.
What? Explain that reference. I don't know.
If you've seen the old internet video of the kid in like the skeleton face paint, and she's like, how are you enjoying the Halloween thing? And the kid goes, I love turtles. And I can't unsee it now. So Darby Allin with his face paint is definitely the grown-up I love turtles kid.
You know, you got to drop that in the group chat, right?
Yeah, I can definitely get on that.
You need to find that.
This was a good end to the pay-per-view. Like I said, they could have cut the fat, but from what the internets are saying is that they wanted to inconvenience WWE fans the same way WWE was trying to inconvenience their fans by giving a bunch of stuff at the same time and extending their shows, which is kind of genius if you do it petty, but if you're just being petty. But the fact that you don't want, like, this is not a declaration of war by any means. Like, let's not, you know what I mean? Like, this better not be a thing where AEW tries to have shows on the days that WWE has, because that's not going to work out well. Because once WWE realizes, like, oh, okay, cool. Guess what? Stone Cold is headlining this pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's when the gloves start to come off, and they're like,
we're bringing the Undertaker back.
You know what I mean? It's now Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes versus The Rock in a steel cage match. Like, you know, it's like, oh,
red cage at that.
Yeah, and we're opening up the pay-per-view with it. Monday Night SmackDown, no commercials for 2 hours. It's like, what? Iron Man match, Finn Balor versus Jey Uso, no commercials, like 45 minutes straight. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh,
although I'll take it if this whole thing leads us back to terrible execution, but the gimmick I thought was amazing. Let's get that 3-tier cage match from WCW for one of the companies, because that was dope.
Lord have mercy.
A lot. Like, you could, only certain arenas can have it. But yeah, but to close out the action-packed wrestling weekend was the sold out Saturday night. Sunday night. The sold out Sunday night.
No, you jumping ahead. We still got Saturday night main event.
Oh my God!
Yeah, to close out Sunday or to close out Saturday.
We have main event
Saturday night, for as big as it was Saturday Night Main Event, for as big as it was billed and everything,
nothing mattered until
that shit was
the
mid.
news.
Well, it wasn't a great overall show.
I don't think it needed to be, but I think
I agree.
The biggest takeaway was Seth getting hurt.
Yep. And here, we'll just touch on them really quick because we saw a continuation. We didn't talk about it for SmackDown.
Let's go.
Logan Paul and Jelly Roll have begun a feud. Jelly Roll comes in to try and save Randy Orton from Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, which has now formally been announced as a SummerSlam match of Randy Orton and Jelly Roll.
About Jelly Roll taking that Claymore like a champ?
Dude, he's been working. I don't like it, but he's been putting in the work.
Why you don't like it?
Because I don't want random celebrity comes in and takes a spot from actual wrestler.
Hey, they've always had a celebrity spot. They eliminated it from WrestleMania. It's now a SummerSlam thing.
Which I guess I'm fine with that. Then,
you know what I mean?
In something that was surprising to a lot of people, but I'm okay with so far, Solo kept the United States Championship.
Yep.
And I thought overall, it's
the Tala Tama.
The Tala one. He's taller than all the rest.
Yeah.
Then, to your point, we got Seth in LA Knight.
But hold on. We got to go back and talk about Jelly Roll taking this Claymore. I'm replaying in the background. He took it sight unseen. He didn't even peek over. He's just like I don't know, bro. I'm not taking that. I'm not. That's just what I'm saying, and it's a big thing. Like, this would have been more shocking if Jelly Roll wasn't already on 4 pay-per-views. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if this was I felt like the celebrity matches outside of Logan Paul initially and what's it called, Bad Bunny, have really, the shock value of it has dimmed ever since Mayweather. That Mayweather thing, even though I was a mark, I was 15 or something. I was like, yo, Mayweather, really big show? That was yo, what is he doing? And yeah, and the Mike Tyson thing, that was crazy because I'm like, yo, these guys are not dainty celebrities. Punch to punch, I think Mayweather can knock out the Big Show. The way he caught him.
Big Show is actually talked about. He caught him one time, and actually, Big Show was like, "Oh, geez,
yeah,
I did not expect that."
In Mike Tyson,
didn't tell him to hit him.
Oh yeah,
he said, "Just do it." He's like, "Hit me."
And Floyd was like, "I don't think you want me to do that." And he's like, "No, do it. It'll be good." And then he hit him, and you can see it in that replay. Shows down on his knee and gets hit with one, and he's like.
Yeah, and then although Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels were the professional wrestlers there, I was scared for them. I was like, if they hit Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson is like, nope, this is real life for me now. It is a wrap. It is a wrap. No, Mike Tyson could have knocked both of them out. I don't give a shit who they are.
Oh, easily.
He would have murdered them, especially Mike. Then he was just the only reason he wasn't boxing because of the suspension.
Yeah, because he legally was not allowed to.
Yeah, he would have killed those guys. And it's
but then we did get LA Knight and Seth, which came to a very abrupt ending with LA Knight hitting the boyfriend's tongue move. I don't know why it's called the BFT. And that was because Seth hit a roll, hit a backflip, the knee went out. There's speculation on if it was a planned spot or if it was a true spot. As someone who has hurt themselves more times than they can count, it looked like the initial roll on the senton hurt his knee. His reaction when he hits the backflip does look a little bit weird, but his reaction when he was leaving and the way he was screaming in frustration, more so than pain, definitely kind of leads to think that it's probably not a work. You have podcasts and web pages much bigger than ours with theoretically more insider knowledge than we have that are saying, no, it was a work, but it was a work to cover up a previous injury. Any way you slice it.
The early news is 4 to 5 months, which is a lot better, which means it might have not been a full tear.
Versus the 8 to 12 that was initially expected.
Yeah. So he caught the bullet, but apparently it just, brushed him instead of,
full graze.
Yeah, graze. Yeah.
It was a deep graze.
It's a through and through.
Yeah. But the match that everybody here was excited for, baby, Gunther versus Goldberg, and honestly, for what it was, the match delivered. But
Gunther made him look like a viable opponent, even though Goldberg is nearing 60 years old. And so hats off once again to Gunther.
NBC ain't shit. NBC's like and dark.
Oh my god.
Because that was an NBC move.
Thank you, NBC.
Yes. That shit.
And then I guess the feeds were tied because I whatever WWE does to switch over production for them to just continue on Peacock did not work. And then they came back and then somebody in production was like, cut this shit, just cut it.
That's because they had Bret Hart in the truck.
They probably at a certain point somebody on the fly said, let's just make this a digital only thing,
which I didn't hear the speech, but I read the speech, and for better or worse, hats off to Goldberg, because one of the things that he really drove home was it doesn't matter what your race is, it doesn't matter what your religion is, people just need to treat people with respect. Yeah. So if we take nothing else away from what Goldberg did, hats off to that.
Nobody questioned Goldberg's moral character outside of Bret Hart. He hasn't proved that he's an asshat. I just think he's an example of a guy when he was young, he was just stupid. Think about this: the same Stone Cold that was like, I'm not going to do business with Brock because it's free TV. It's probably one that's like, I'm a dumbass. I should have probably, if I was in my right mind, I would have stayed and finished out my career properly.
Right.
But, this is not what we got. I think the show wasn't mid. I think it was serviceable. I just think WWE didn't, this was them just being, being coy. Like, oh, we're going to put it on this night. I don't think they were going to definitely bring eyes away from AEW. It was kind of like, do you want this for free or do you want to pay $80 for this?
And spend 6.5 hours.
Yeah. So a lot of people,
not even including pre-show. With pre-show, It was over 8 hours.
And, it's already been said that AEW, they cater to an older audience at this point. And I'm not older like boomers. I'm talking about guys like us. That's
around in that attitude era time. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Not even I think a little bit younger than that. Because I think the people that like AEW, we're at me and Shane are at the end of the spectrum, and it's more like guys between their mid to late 20s to late 30s that's their diehard core group. You know what I mean? And whatever people that were in the wrestling only, and it's basically they're always going to be the alternative. I think they lost a misstep, and I think they're turning things around when they were just booking the former WWE guys, and now that the herd has thinned a little bit, outside of the Hurt Syndicate, that's still their main goal. Because if you think about it, none of their new acquisitions has really won a title. Any of the old WWE guys outside of the Hurt Syndicate has not won a belt since they've been there.
Yeah. I mean, Swerve, Tony Storm.
But at this point, Swerve has spent more time in AEW than he has in WWE.
On the main roster, right? Yeah. He was in NXT for a while.
Yeah, but not longer than he's been on the contract for AEW at this point.
Okay.
And just I think it was a good night for everybody that's a casual wrestling fan to a diehard wrestling fan, for content creators like ourselves that are wrestling fans. Except, we had life. This is
good content Saturday.
Yeah, this is good content, but it was hard to keep up as somebody that has weekend plans. Like I can't even tell you how many different
Nobody
devices I watched this. At a certain point, I was just listening to the matches like it was baseball. Like
Turn on the ham radio.
like you know what I mean? Like I had a cell phone because I had to be present where I was at. At a certain point, I was like put it on as I was driving home, and then I watched the main four of AEW, and then I went back and watched the main event on Peacock. Like I said, it was 2 device. The thing is, WWE assumes that you're going to split their audience. No, they just end up giving a lot more work to all of wrestling fans. You know, but
Yes,
yeah, like, but to close out the wrestling weekend, Evolution, and Evolution was really good. They sold out, and that's a caveat. They sold out the expected tickets that they had for it. They were going to sell, I think, 7,000, and they did, because that's how the arena, to the point that I believe they opened up a little bit more to accommodate more fans that I guess heard that
so
the
they, I know initially they had cut the upper deck sales off and were planning to tarp off, but then sales picked up and they opened that back up.
Yeah, which was actually pretty good. It means that the total failure that a lot of other news outlets were like, oh man, this doesn't bode well, means that we might get another pay-per-view.
another Evolution.
Yeah. And hopefully they do a lot better scheduling. Like, considering like this is the win of the week for the WWE. The fact that they had a Beyonce concert, they had an entire day's worth of wrestling the night before. But the supporters of this wrestling pay-per-view went. And I even have friends that don't go to PLE, drove from North Carolina and went because they had the opportunity to get. They have a daughter, and they had the opportunity to go watch the show for lower to cost than they would normally be, and they had a good old time. And especially, you know, it was a good weekend to be in Atlanta if you're a person that likes hanging out, and you know what other things to do. Probably driving to there anywhere was probably a nightmare.
But that was probably it. That was probably the worst part.
Yeah, but you know, it was pretty good. You know, you had top to bottom, you had good 8 matches. You had Becky, Bayley, Lyra. That was a good match to open up the show.
Honestly, better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
definitely set the pace.
Yeah, and Lynch, she should not lose his belt in a triple threat. I think she
didn't.
Yeah, and then, which is good. And then you had JC Jane versus Grace, Jordan Grace, which was good. Good match, but I think the point of this match was, number one, to cement JC Jane as a non-fluke champion, and number two, to have Jordan Grace to have a premium storyline, which is what's going to happen with her partner Monroe turned on her
when Blake Monroe, which the internet hated and said Michael Cole absolutely ruined, which I kind of get it.
But it's like, come on, you can't say that when you have freaking Jim Ross over there just flubbing everybody's line for the past decade. Like,
I so agree with that.
Give Michael Cole patience. The guy probably works freaking 8 hours a week on TV live, like no breaks. No, like, oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom. This man commentates all the time. But one of my favorite matches of the weekend, and it's not one of the 1v1s, was a tag match. I think the two R's, Raquel and
Roxanne
and
the
Roxanne
crew.
Yeah, they were amazing. This was a good match. It's again goes down to who you pair. Like, I think Soulrook and Zarya were amazing together. They represented for NXT. I thought they were going to be like, you know, the slim pickings, but then the Kabuki Warriors did what the Kabuki Warriors do. And Charlotte and Alexa are having fun. Like, I like
that. Credit where it's due. I think that Players Tribune article changed a whole lot of perception of Charlotte, because she went to getting booed out of the building. And yes, some of it has been this Alexa Charlotte pairing storyline, but there was a huge catapult in the reception for Charlotte, with fans chanting "We want Charlotte" throughout this match. And you could see at the at one part in the match, she heard that I said Bliss's first name and was trying to jump in the conversation. My little Amazon partner over here. But you could see Charlotte's face. She was kind of surprised by it.
Yeah.
Which it was
Yeah,
good to see that. But you did miss something there.
What did I
because
miss?
we had Naomi Jade.
When was that?
That was before the tag match.
That was a good match.
That was before the tag match.
Yes.
I thought that was right before the main event or the battle royal.
No, it was before. It was before the tag match.
That was an early match.
We saw what is likely the end to the Jade Cargill Naomi storyline, where they've been
the best Jade
strapped at each other.
Easily the best that Jade has looked on her
easily
on her entire run, because they put her there. Like, I guess she's learning. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just whoever she gets in the ring with." No, I think this actually means she's getting better.
And we saw Jade go over there, and I'm going to give another hats off to probably one of the best I've seen. And Tiffany's done a lot of great things. We had Tiffany Stratton with Trish Stratus.
Yes,
Tiffany looked great, and so did Trish for that matter.
It was good. She needs to turn heel. That's my takeaway. She's such a natural heel.
I would
and not an annoying heel. Like, she just she comes out, like, her being humble doesn't fit her character, because she proves in and day out in the ring that she can, like, literally. I feel like with certain opponents she brings down her level to not outshine them, and then to other ones she's like, oh, okay, she could go, because she had a good hand and with Trish, and it was amazing. Like it was a good match. The takeaway from the women's battle royal was, hey, Nikki Bella doing it. We had wearing a weird dress, Stephanie McMahon. Like it was cool. And Stephanie Vaquer is the one that needed a win.
I don't even know that she needed it, but she was the obvious person to take it.
Listen, I just got to touch on, they had Lash Legend in the final two, the NXT star. So that within itself for me was great. Hopefully she gets some kind of little push.
This match was a lot of botches, but I felt like the mix of new talent that happened.
A lot of people, a lot of new people mixing with returning people that hadn't been in the ring in years. And it was really funny that because we had everyone in Discord watching this at the same time as well, and we commented, who puts who was the draw. And I said, as much as we enjoy seeing new people come in and succeeding, a Nikki Bella returning is going to sell more tickets than a Lash Legend. And then we got Lash and eliminating Nikki Bella.
I was like, she heard you.
Very poetic.
Heard it.
I think Kalani Jordan again proves that she's a versatile wrestler. She was a standout for me in this match. There was a couple people that stood out. I actually expected more from people here. Like, I thought Nia Jax was gonna be a bigger impact, but I definitely like that Stephanie won. And
I really think they did a lot to reestablish Nikki. I don't know how long she's back for or what's going on there, but they did a lot to reestablish her. They really pushed Lash Legend, and then they just continued the rocket that is strapped to Stephanie Vaquer right now, and rightfully so. She's incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
But then we got what is my 1A or 1B. You can flip it back and forth along with the Tony and Mercedes. The match of the weekend with Rhea and Io for the title.
Oh, Lord.
Which those two working together kill it time and time and time again. But in what made Derek's entire weekend, why don't you go ahead and tell us?
Oh, listen. She finally got her flowers, okay? She done been back for what? Has it been a year? It's been a little over a year? A year? No?
Yeah.
Nobody? I'm gonna say a year. We're just gonna go with a year.
Yeah, she said about a year.
It's been around a year, and she is finally getting what she deserves, to me at least, if not to anybody else, to me, to my friend Glenn for sure, as y'all heard in the chat. Yeah, man, she cashed in, which I was not expecting at all. I thought it was gonna be like a little cash in attempt, come in, you know what I'm saying, maybe hit somebody with the briefcase and then bounce.
Mm-hmm.
But she left with the belt, bro. She told y'all, she was like, proceed with caution.
And then she took that momentum right into Monday and cut one of the greatest like promos to start a show that I've seen in a while. She's like, I told you. It's like y'all weren't feeling the glow, but y'all feeling me now, aren't you? Like,
listen, bro,
come on now.
I love
that
it.
That is amazing.
And she dropped the "you bitches gotta know."
Listen,
like that was probably one of the best promos I've seen in a minute, outside of the Penta debut promo. Like,
this by far the best Naomi promo we've ever had. It felt authentic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It felt like she was excited. It felt revitalized. It was great to see.
Yeah.
It don't feel like it was written for her. Like that was just her.
I think this was I think
they are main eventing one of the nights of SummerSlam, maybe night one.
I would love to see that.
I think it's going to happen. I think that the way that the matches are shaping up, I think the title matches are gonna be at the forefront. I think the men's title match, CM Punk might open up the show, and then I guess John Cena is gonna probably end night 2. So
yeah, he has to end night 2.
Yeah, and then I could see CM Punk, Gunther going on first night.
All right, so that covers the whole weekend. Are we saving Raw for our next episode and doing a double Raw?
No, we're literally talking about Raw right now.
If you got to slide, we already know.
I'm trying to stay in.
Yeah, let's cut it here. We'll talk about Raw in our next recap. You guys watch Raw, so thank you guys for joining us in another episode of Bumps and Bruises podcast. It's a podcast brought to you by wrestling fans for wrestling fans, and we're taking time out of our day to do this. All three of us have full-time gigs. I'm once again joined by my favorite tag team, Derek, and Shane. So we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you for joining us for a lot more wrestling. All right, till next time, peace, y'all.